good, ladies and jellyfish? Today I'm going to be showing you all how to make a classic drift funk type beat. Now before we get into the tutorial, check out the link in my description for my OnlyFans, where I will be showing pictures of me without my wig on. Now without any further ado, let's just get right to it. Alright, so the first thing I started off with in this beat is that classic funk cowbell. I recommend keeping it stupid simple and playing around with these tension notes, which are notes that are one note away from each other in the scale. I also recommend leaving some spaces in between the notes just to give it a little bit more bounce. That way it's not just two-step cowbells all the way through. For the mixing on that, I have an EQ taking out the low ends, a reverb, a parametric EQ taking out some unwanted frequencies, and pancake panning it left and right. Next, I threw down the synth from Labs just to give it some background ambience. For the mixing on that, I have a parametric EQ taking out the low end, a reverb, fruity delay 2 on the wide end preset, kickstart, which is an LFO plugin that gives it that pulsing sound, an EQ toying with some of the frequencies, and then yet another EQ taking out the low ends. Next, I threw down these keys just to give it some low end. For this, I have a parametric EQ taking out the low end and some reverb. I already know you guys are going to go wild on me in the comments for this one, but this beat is from April, okay? So with that being said, I added in a bell. Next, I have a Freddie Gibbs acapella pitched down 300 semitones.
When I hit you up, I'm talking about banging something. Deal off in your crib with half a thing, probably make the sting or something. Girl, you like my bottom bitch. Post my bill, pay for my load. Play your position when the mother hoes get out of order. When you wanna give me that pussy, you purchase a plane ticket. Work down when I bust it down, then one shit like them lames did it. Got a dick with my dick's mirror lipstick. Basically, this bitch lay with me, she paying me. I'm on some pimp shit.
For the effects on that, I have a limiter sidechain to the kick, as well as an EQ taking out some low ends and boosting the highs a bit, a reverb on the basic settings, OTT at 50% depth, and D-Blue Glitch messing around with the gator and the tape stop. D-Blue Glitch is basically just a free alternative to Effectric, so if you're looking for these kind of effects, that's a great plugin to use. So this is what all the melodic components sound like together. Alright, so now we've got a great basis to throw in some drums. First thing I did was throw in this 808 from Cody and Chemic's Essentials kit. For the effects on that, I have a limiter sidechaining it to the kick, as well as sausage fattener with the color boosted, and a fruity fast distortion on the B panel. After that, I threw down this kick being the Rio clip kick. Now you may be wondering why I have my kicks pitched like this. Well, the reason being is that certain notes in the 808s don't sound good with the standard kick being at C, so I'll pitch them up and down just to match the 808 accordingly. Next, I have this snare from Glockley's 6K drum kit. If you want to make some authentic funk beats, then it's recommended to not use a clap, rather use a short and punchy snare. Next, I have this basic two-step hi-hat from Tri-Freeze's ATL kit. And last but not least, I have this open hat hitting on the downbeat. So this is what the melody and the drums sound like all together. Now the final portion of the beat that I will be covering is the intro, and this is what it sounds like. The way I was was able to achieve this is I just highlighted the portion I wanted to play in the intro, and then I went into Edison, recorded it, and then hit this button to put it into the playlist. Next, I set the mode to stretch and then back to resample. The reason why I did that is because it locks this time knob, making it so that the clip doesn't stretch when the tempo is automated. From there, I just created a tempo automation clip by right-clicking the tempo and hitting create an automation clip. After that, I right-clicked this yet again and copied the value, that way I wouldn't lose it. Right-clicked to set a keyframe and then pasted the value. After that, I just took this first knob and dragged it down a bit and then created a gradual slope. And that is how you make a Phonk beat that every single TikTok edit involving drifting cars will use. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial and learned something new. If you have any questions, please feel free to throw them in the comments down below and I'll do my best to answer them. Other than that, that's gonna be it. Peace.